Everyone, my name is Tyra and I teach bar, mat and equipment classes at Moushu's Pilates. Today we're going to be doing an exercise that's called the plank with my colleague Soumya as a demo model, and we're just going to be going through different progressions in the plank. We're going to work a lot on alignment and we're also going to work on some joint flexibility. Alright, so we're going to start with Soumya in an all-fours position and we're going to prep her and get her shoulders to be in a good alignment for holding the plank. It's important to have a good shoulder position when you're doing the plank. For this, Soumya is going to make sure that the wrist is slightly ahead than the shoulder, and then she's going to just gently move her shoulder blades away from the spine, and then she's going to drop the chest bone down in between. So this is called Sternum Drop. We're going to do about 3 to 4 of these. From here, she's going to set the shoulders. So she's going to keep her position nice and strong. And then we're going to start to engage into the abdominal muscles. So she's going to imagine a little ball in between her knees. And then she's gently just going to start to lift the knees or hover the knees off the carriage and place it back down. We're going to do about 6 to 8 reps of these. Once she's finished with the reps, she's going to hover the knees off the carriage. And she's just going to press the carriage out and bring it back in. We're going to do about again 6 to 8 of these. The neck stays nice and long, chest cavity is strong, belly button is pulling in towards the spine. And that's our first move. Soumya is all ready to take it into a progression of the first movement that we did. So we're still on a red spring. She's going to hold on to her foot bar nice and strong. She's going to remember the second movement that we did, where we're going to just gently feel that connect with the knees and lift up. She's going to hold it over there on the next one, and then from here we're just going to extend and bring it back in. Again, we're going to do about 6 to 8 of these. Press and release. And then if you want to make it a lot tougher, you can hold the plank over here for 10 seconds, or you can add a little amount of push-ups. So you can just press and release. And then just bring it in and place the knees back. We're going to go into our next movement that is called long stretch. This is an exercise that works with the core, but it also works a lot with the shoulder scapular stability, and it helps to engage in all the muscles that connect from the shoulders into the upper back area. Alright, so for this we're going to do it the traditional way. We're going to lift the headrest up. Soumya is going to change the spring tension, so she's going to add a blue tension to this. With this exercise, the lighter you go, the more you engage into the core. So today we are on quite a medium to heavy spring tension. She's going to set herself up by placing her hands on the foot bar. And then she's going to take her balls of the feet and place it in the gap between the headrest and the mat. She's going to lift her knees up and she's going to push out and stay in her plank position. And then from here, she's going to think about increasing the space between the arm and the torso on an exhale. And on an inhale, she's going to pull herself back up and float above the foot bar. We're going to go with an exhale to press out. You want to think of 2 sponges in the underarm, and then you want to press or squeeze that water out through it. Neck is nice and long. We're just going to do one more over here. We're going to go on an exhale to press out and inhale to bring it all the way back. Place the knees back gently on the mat. Alright, since both of us are bar instructors, we love doing this movement called the Arabesque. It's a great exercise with a combination of the plank to work a little bit now with your lumbo-pelvic stability, and it also adds a good stretch for the glutes. So she's going to set herself up into a plank position to start with. Press the carriage out. She's going to take one leg and place it on top of the leg that's on the shoulder block. Alright, from here, Soumya is going to maintain the position on the torso. She's going to think about the sit bones reaching up towards the ceiling as she pulls the carriage to close it and bring it back in. You want to think about the headlights staying parallel to the foot bar, so no rotation at the hip. You're going to use an exhale to bring it in and an inhale. We're going to change the leg now, so she's going to place her foot back control front. This is a slightly tricky exercise to get into, a movement to get into. So Soumya is going to start by placing her hands on top of the shoulder blocks. Her wrists are going to stay nice and long, so Soumya should have a creasing wrist. We don't want that with the wrist. We want to hold on nice and tight. She's going to take her stronger leg and place it on the foot bar. Simultaneously, as she pushes out, she's going to lift the other leg to join the plank. She's going to think about the same idea of increasing the gap between the arm bone and the torso to bring it in. So think about that sponge. Inhale and exhale. One more. And back. And now she's going to add a leg lift to add some pelvic stability work. So as she pushes out, she's going to lift the leg and bring it in. We're going to go for 2 more. Breathe. Inhale and exhale, and then she's going to switch the legs. And one last one. Start to bend the knees and bring the carriage in. Place one knee down gently and then the other one. Work with an exercise that's called elephant. The elephant is a great movement to stretch out the entire posterior chain of the body. So hamstrings and glutes. For this, Soumya is going to stand up on her reformer. She's going to place her feet hip distance apart, and she's going to take her ankles just underneath her hip. So we're going to do a flat back elephant today. Neck is slightly down. Alright? Your toes are going to pull up towards your kneecap. On an inhale, you're going to push away with the heels, keeping the hips stable. So you're just going to press out. And on an exhale, I want you to feel your tailbone tucking in between and bring it back in. We're going to do about 5 to 6 over here. So an inhale to press out, exhale to bring it back in. Back. And release and stop. Working with a movement that's called down stretch, and this is a great exercise just to stretch the muscles in the front of the body and the upper back. So what Soumya is going to do is she's going to keep her heels against the shoulder blocks. She's going to sit her hips down on top of the heels. Now from here, keeping the position from the top of the head to the tailbone, she's gently just going to sit up. So we're going to lift up, we're going to stay here, Soumya. We're going to keep this here. And now you're going to press out with the heels to keep this position. Keeping this position from here, on an inhale, I want you to bring the carriage and float up. And on an exhale, we want to take it all the way back. Perfect. We're going to go inhale, start to reach and float up. And exhale to slowly take it all the way back down. We're going to do about 2 more over here. Connecting into breathing. Just thinking about the light in the chest, and as you reach up, you want that light to shine where the ceiling meets the wall, and release it. So you're going to sit back. We're going to just finish off with a simple child stretch. You can keep your hand on the foot bar, and you can just lower the chest in between the knees. Perfect. And then what you can do is you can take your left hand and just bring it underneath your right underarm and give a little twist. That shoulder onto the mat. Perfect. Give that nice rotation in the spine and upper back. And then we're just going to take the twist onto the other side. And release it. Hope that you enjoyed this little series that we put together for you. You can always follow us on Instagram at Moushu's Pilates, and you can even subscribe to our YouTube channel, Moushu's Pilates.
If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments or check out